Namaste everyone. I'm going to start this pretty soon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Namaskaram, Kṛṣṇa.
Yes. Namaskar.
So I think I started recording already, I think, right? Yeah, it's all already
Yes,
been
yes.
recorded. Hopefully everything is, I am trying something new, hopefully it will not be lost. Okay. Share screen. Share. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good. See, what I plan to do is I do see that in the last few days we have number of discussions regarding the Advaita view of Sadasad Vilakshana and all those things. What I found was I found a nice book. This is by actually my friend's father. My friend is Giridhar Bore. His father is B.A. Kṛṣṇa Swami Rao. And this is the book. I can send some information about this book. In this book, he has summarized the Sadasad Vilakshana arguments by Madhva. I hope this is visible. So the Sadasad Vilakshana portion has been pretty nicely explained from Madhvacharya's point of view, considering Vedas, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and several other sources beyond Bhagavad Gita. So what we can do is in the next class, we can go through the arguments by Madhvacharya, where I think the arguments are more logical. Because Madhvacharya and the Dvaita system in general relate to the Nyaya theory, the Nyaya school, a lot. So they borrow a lot of syllogisms, logical analysis from that school, and they try to debunk or attack Advaita views in a very powerful way. We're going to deal with that just to understand the logic eventually in the next class. But in this class, we'll talk about Nasha. What exactly means Nasha? Last time there was a question by Sudarshanji and Adityaji. They asked that if Brahman is changeless, absolutely no change, then even saguṇa Brahma or any person who undergoes change, how can saguṇa Brahma undergoes change? Because there is in his sankalpa, he is creating, he is dealing with Līlā, he is helping somebody with anugraha, or he is punishing somebody with nigraha. All these things involve some kind of a change in the mind of Parabrahma. If there is any change, that is not perfect. So changeless, absolutely nirvikāra, is the perfect one Brahman. If we take that view, then why did this come up? Anashino aprameyasya tasmadidvasva bharata avinashitu tad vidhi yana sarvamidam tatam. All these verses we talked about in second chapter. Avinashi means that which does not have a nasha. So if there is any change, that means there is nasha, right? So nasha means changeless. Can we define like that? This is the question which comes up. That means nasha can be taken as changeless, absolutely no change. So that can refer only to Parabrahma. And if that is the definition, Parabrahma cannot, even the person who has Līlā, that is, who is playing, who is willing the universe to be there, who is destroying the universe, who maintaining the universe, all these activities of Parabrahman makes them somewhat subject to some change. Then that is not absolutely nitya. according to one view. Let me ask you a question. Do you understand the question of Sudarshan and Aditya clearly? Do other people understand their question?
Yes, Namaskaram Kṛṣṇa. Yes, I understand. I think they are actually equating the Nirguṇa Brahma of Advaita, which is totally changeless. So it is
Correct.
looking at all this thing from that point of view, they are asking the question.
Correct. Exactly. So from Nirguṇa Brahma side of it, that is actually totally changeless, because that Nirguṇa Brahman is not even involved in anything in this universe. That Nirguṇa Brahman doesn't even know the existence of any universe. So that Nirguṇa Brahman is pure, Shanta, uninvolved, asanga. So all these things can be ascribed to that Nirguṇa Brahman. So this is their view.
According to that Nirguṇa Brahman, nothing exists. Clear?
Ama. Nothing
Okay.
else exists other than Nirguṇa Brahman. Existence. Asadeva.
Okay.
Sadrupa. Sat is existence only. Sadaika Rupa Rupaya Vishnave Sarvajishnave. Sat Eka Rupaya. Only Sat.
Hariya.
Existence. Okay. So this is the question. And that question is a pretty serious question. Because they take it in a different way also. Okay. How can you justify? Why am I taking this? Is I am taking their question into a next level. What is the next level? There are two theories in this world, right? Two theories. One is the theory of Līlā. That means Paramātmā can wills this universe. He has this Līlā. He creates this universe. He plays with it. He destroys it. And he again does it again and again. It doesn't matter what Paramātmā does, because he's free to do what he can do. So this is the theory of Līlā. I will ask you one question. What is the problem with Līlā theory? It is perfectly okay, right? Līlā theory is fine. Paramātmā is free to do what that person can, what he thinks, and let him create, let him destroy, let him maintain. So what's wrong in this Līlā theory? Can anyone guess? Is there any problem in this Līlā theory? Paramātmā is absolutely free.
Kṛṣṇa ji, if we accept Līlā theory, then there is no karma, because he's doing everything himself, right? Now, how can he put us responsible for anything?
No. That is not very easily discardable like that. Paramatma is so powerful, absolutely incongruous, that is inscrutable. He is beyond all thought, beyond our mind, beyond our rational thinking. He creates independent, so-called independent, not exactly independent. He doesn't create. He wills as a nitya-ichcha. That means he wills that all these jivatmas and prakriti exist always, like him, to play with.
Excuse me.
Karma is not there, is not acceptable, because jivatmas can pick up karma, anadi karma, from timeless time, where it is beyond our thought. The karmas, ajnana came first, or jnana came, bad actions came first. We don't know the karma avidya theory.
Excuse me. Here, who created the first karma then? Who created the first karma? Karma began once, no?
Anadi, right? It was timeless. There was no beginning. Is there a particular spot where there was a minus infinite time? It's very, very simple. They will all ācāryas will easily answer this question. We say, look, if karma create assume a time minus before this time, about 1,000 billion years ago, right? What happened? Oh, somebody existed in some form, maybe in some other form, not human form, some other form. Okay. Then they did some bad things. Why did they do bad things? Because they had ajnana. Why did they have ajnana? Because before that, they were there in some other body and it messed up something and they got into trouble. So karma can always be answered logically. There's always a prior karma. If you take any karma at a particular point, there's a prior karma. So the karma anaditva, karma avidya anadi chakra is constant in our Indian philosophy. That is not easily attacked by pretty any logical view. Now, what is the problem with Līlā theory? Paramātmā is blissfully happy. He doesn't have any unhappiness. But again, easily
Advaita வந்து லீலா அத்வைத்திகள்
What?
லீலா தியரி ஒத்துக்கல. அத்வைத்திகள் லீலா தியரியை ஒத்துக்கல. அவ பிரம்மம் ஒண்ணுதானே சத்தியம்ன்றா.
Advaitical don't accept Līlā theory. They prefer a
அதான்
different theory.
அத்வைத்தி பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூ தானே இப்ப அந்த நிர்விகாரமும்.
I didn't understand. என்ன Advaiti point of view என்ன?
நிர்விகாரம்.
See, no. I am telling, why can't we define Nityatva as Nirvikaritva? Nityatva is eternality. Nityatva is same as Nirvikaratva, that which does not change. Why can't we do this kind of a definition of Nityatva? See, in the last class, there was a problem with anashitva. That means nasharahita. What is a nasha? Nasha is some change. Changeless is anashi. Nasha is change means what? Pot is there. Before, suppose there's a mud and mud, you make it into a pot. And you throw the pot down and the pot breaks and the pot is gone. So pot becomes nashi dravya. So it goes through change. It becomes broken pot. So Paramatma is unchanging. That is why he is nitya. He is all pervading. That is why he is nitya. This is the so the thing is, why can't we define nasha rahita as nityatva? And many times all ācāryas are using nasha rahitatva as nityatva, right? Nityatva is almost same as nasha rahitatva. Even ācāryas are using this kind of statements all over Bhagavad Gita Bhashya. You can see it in Ramanuja.org. You can see it in Madhva. You can see it definitely in Shankara Bhashya. So why
பிரகிருதிக்கு
not
மாறுதல் இருக்கிறதுனால அது நம்ம அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிட்டு தானே ஆகணும்.
Okay, there is changes in Prakriti and there is changes in Jivatma. Why don't we define Paramatma as absolutely changeless? And that will become identical to Advaita's view of Paramatma, because he is Nirguṇa Brahman and he is totally not even involved in creation, sustenance and destruction of this universe. He is unrelated to the universe. So he will become a better changeless person than a Īśvara, than Kṛṣṇa, who is very much involved in this universe as a play. So what Sudarshan ji and Aditya ji mentioned is the clear definition of changelessness will apply to a Nirguṇa Brahman, and it does not apply to Parabrahman, even though Parabrahman is does not change like the Prakriti. It does not change like the matter. Parabrahman is better than all the souls and Jivatmas, or the Jivatmas, because Jivatmas undergo pain and pleasure and all the problems. But Paramatma, Kṛṣṇa does not undergo pain or pleasure. But Kṛṣṇa is verily thinking, helping Draupadi when Draupadi got into trouble, helping Arjuna when Arjuna has to get into this big fight. So Kṛṣṇa is involved in this universal activity in every step of the way, pretty much. So because he is involved, there's change. And if there is change, that is not perfect nityatva. Perfect nityatva means no change absolutely. Take out all the changes. Shantam, nirgunam shantam.
எந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டியுமே இருக்காது அப்போ.
இருக்கக்கூடாது. இருந்தா தானே ப்ராப்ளம். ஆக்டிவிட்டி இஸ் ignorance. Ignorance is activity.
Yes.
All karmas are ignorance.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Krishna. I have
Brahman
one point to tell. I have
One
a point to
second,
tell.
go ahead, Champakamami.
That is about Krishna. What to say? He does action without his unattaching. He doesn't get attached to what he is doing.
See, it's okay. What I'm saying is he is not attached. That is why he is not tainted by any actions like others. Jivas must do with
it doesn't say
hatred.
that, no. That doesn't mean that Supreme Self is activeless. He is always active, and he does the work, but without any attachment. This attachment itself causes starting for everything.
Good point.
Even
Good
karma.
point.
Even karma is when the self eats the pipala phala, then karma starts. Starting of the karma is when the individual self eats the two of the two birds. One bird, when it eats the pipalada of samsara, karma starts. Suppose if it doesn't, if wasn't eating, like staying like Paramātmā, this wouldn't have happened at all.
See,
their karma theory started.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, do any others also understand what Champakamami is told, right? Other people also understand.
One point more.
See, now let me counter it.
It is symbolically said one bird. That bird means all of us.
I understand that is the famous analogy of the Upanishads. The two birds perched on the same tree.
Dvasuparna,
Sayuja. We understand it. Yeah, we understand it. But there is a problem there. What it is according to the definition of Nityatva, if you make that as absolutely changeless, Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Anugraha, Nigraha is still there with that Anashnan, Anyaham, Abhijakashiti, the person who is witness, that is the one bird who is not eating the fruit, that is Īśvara. He is still the witness. So the thing is, he's witness and he's involved.
There is also one more saying.
Who is the karmadyaksha? That means who gives the
karma pala data.
No, karma pala data, pradata. He is there, right? He's involved in action, so he is still changing. Even if he personally is not changing, his consciousness, his will, his sankalpa, all these things are changing. So his dharma bhuta jnana, in a way, he is changing in some way. What Sudarshan ji and Aditya ji said, that let us keep one definition for Nityatva as changelessness. And many ācāryas have even mentioned changelessness as avinashitva. Avinashitva is same as Nityatva. Why can't we, if you purely believe in that definition, Kṛṣṇa comes under the saguṇa category, which involves change, and he is not as Nitya as Nirguṇa Brahman. In that sense, understand the logic. The logic is clean.
One more point I have to tell. Devasya yesha svabhava, it is said. And even when we define the Mahapurusha, Vajradapi katorani mriduni kusumadapi lokottaranam chetamsi kohi vijñātum arhati. So because Vajradapi katorani mriduni kusumadapi, they are the same. Mahajanas, they are same. They don't change because their svabhava is like that.
True.
Devasya yesha svabhava.
No, we agree that Daivasya Swabhavoyam is actually by Gaudapada Karika. Gaudapada, Shankaracharya's guru's guru, said it in the Gaudapada Karika. Devasya Swabhavoyam. That's a very good quote you brought out. So the thing is, this universe is the Devasya Swabhavoyam. Deva is the divine God's nature. So secretly, Gaudapadacharya even refers to a willful playing God. Okay? But the truth is, he is tainted. if see at this at a point, 35,000 people got killed in the Israel, Palestine war today, right? If you look at the news, look at small children, young children crushed under the bombing, the buildings collapsing, concrete falling on small children. Thousands and millions of people are now rushing for food. They don't have food, water, shelter, basic necessity. And this is occurring over and over again. When the Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed by the US in Japan, how many people died? Millions died. And millions also picked up diseases like cancer and that and this, and they were marred forever. So what is this? It is nice to accept that this is a divine play, right? Somebody is playing, he is not involved, and all these people really, these rascals need to be given the karma phala. So the karma phala has to be given, and that good, nice player, the one single enjoyer, is giving karma phala, handing over, oh, you did bad things, take it, man, just take it. Nice. Don't you think that will, there are issues there. One thing, change, it involves change. It involves change for sure. So if you say avinashi, absolute changes. Nasha means what? The pot became broken pot, pieces. So that nasha, the pot is no more. From the pieces, you cannot go pick up water from the well and take it somewhere, right? So effect is lost. Something is lost.
One more point, excuse me, Kṛṣṇa. The Paramātmā is unquestionable. You can only understand his nature. You cannot change him. You cannot. We cannot question him. This is what we have to understand like this.
See, the thing is, what
we cannot say, why do you create? Why did you? Why it happened like that? There is no one to answer.
Okay.
But
the thing is,
we have to accept and we have to understand the life. That's all.
I have a small thought about this question thing. Isn't whole Bhagavad Gita about questions and answers than Arjuna asking questions to Paramatma?
True. So the thing is, even in the Upanishads, there are questions, right? Shvetashvatara, first Shvetashvatara's question is even more fantastic compared to many questions of Arjuna. Kim karanam brahma kutasma jataha jiva makena kvachatam pratishtaha. What a beautiful set of questions. Kim karanam brahma. What is the nature of all this karana? Kutasma jataha. Why are we born? Where are we born from? Jiva makena. Why are we living in this kind of a messy life? These are questions always asked. So even our Nyaya Sutra, the Mimamsa, the very Shastra called the Brahma Sutras, Sharirika Mimamsa Sutras, they are Nyaya Sutras. That means they are related, not exactly Nyaya Sutra, they are related to Nyaya. Our Vyasa uses logic. Of course, Shruti logic which is acceptable to the Shrutis. Logic which is in accordance with the Shrutis, and he uses logic. So, see, the thing is, what it is God unquestionable means, we just have to keep quiet. Then Rama's dharma is unquestionable, Kṛṣṇa is unquestionable. So the thing is, yes, we can say take it to the even more level. See, at this level of intelligence, we cannot understand dharma, we cannot understand the nature of God. We have to lose all our ajnana. Then we can understand. This is one way of looking at it. But what some people say is we prefer the Advaita way. He is uninvolved. We are in fact protecting Perumal, protecting God. By all this mess, in relation with the universe comes a lot of crap, messy. Even Rama, who is the embodiment of Dharma, was questioned because some washerwoman said something about him. Okay? They questioned Sita's chastity and all those things. Whatever. And Rama's decision to send Sita away. So Rama's killing of Vali. So many issues come up. in the wonderful story of Rama and the historical, chronological, whatever that events which occurred in Rama's life. So when you get involved in this universe, you will be tainted. Whoever it is, Brahman will get tainted. So why bother about this theory? In fact, Shankaracharya's Advaita keeps Brahman so protected that nobody can touch that Brahman. Unquestionably pure. Why can't we say like this? So, Līlā theory and Māyā theory. Advaita's argument is Māyā theory. Līlā theory is on one side. Māyā theory is on one side. Both are competing with each other. I'm not hearing what I really want to hear yet. I'm not hearing then how do we decide is my question. The decision is not easy. I'll come to the question, Adiji. Decision is not easy. What my Guru Kṛṣṇa says is, what is the trend of the Vaidika Sampradaya in the Vedas, and what is the trend? That is one way of looking at it. That is not perfect, that is not a complete way. At least from the textual point of view, you will understand all the different Itihasa, Puranas and everything, and the Vedic details to figure out that what would be a preferable explanation. Is Līlā theory or Māyā theory? So that becomes a very hard decision. It's not an easy decision. That's one aspect of it. But we can look at the text more clearly. Why we are looking at the text? Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te Ācārya Vyavasthitam. When there is a problem in front of you, you have to refer to the Shastras. And the Mahajano Yenagata Sapantaha, we have to refer to the rishis who were realized. So there is a one way of analysis, contemplation is one aspect of it, and we have to go back to the Shastra. Some deeper hidden truths are there somewhere. That's one way of looking at it. And Shastra is Srishti Vijnana. Unless you realize, that is not answerable. So in fact, if you ask, even Kesvi Swami mentioned at the time, how can I understand karma? Karma is anadi. Karma is, what do you call, I cannot understand why I am getting this kind of a bad effect in my life. Something really messed up in my life. I don't know what karmas I did. So how do I understand this karma theory? How do I understand Paramātma's Līlā? How do I understand if it is whatever it is? He said there is one final Mundaka Upanishad statement which is an answer to all these questions. Bhidyate hridaya gdantihi chidyante asya samshayaha kshiyante asya papani tasmin drishte paravare. All the questions of the heart are answered. All the doubts of the heart will be will be destroyed, will be gone. All the knots will be released. All the sins, papas, which cause all this ignorance and everything, will all be destroyed. Tasmin drishte paravare, when you realize that Parabrahman. So first, you cannot understand all the details. If you cannot understand all the details, that means you have to find a way to get out of this mess and get realization. So that is why most Shastra people, even Ācāryas or something, they have focused on the Moksha Vishara Shastra. How do I get out of this hell? How do I get out of this problem? In fact, wonderful story is said by, it was actually said by first Buddha. And the same story is said by Shankaracharya. He says, it seems there was a person who was walking, and unfortunately he came into a forest, and he had to cross the forest to get back to his home. And so what happened was, he went and then he got stuck in the forest. And suddenly he realized an arrow came and struck his heart from somewhere. Some arrow came and it pierced his heart. And suddenly he is writhing in pain. He's trying to survive and the blood is flowing out. Blood is oozing out of his chest. He's realizing the time has come. When that is the situation, will he now start thinking, where did this arrow come from? Did it come from 33 degrees angle or 47 degrees angle? Did it come from the north, south, or northwest, or southeast, or where? Or what is this arrow made of? Is it made of wood, iron, or some poison-tipped arrow, or something else? So he will not think like that. He will first think that, is there somebody to help? He will shout for help. He will see if somebody can protect him by removing the arrow and giving some medicines or something like that, or making some stitches or surgery so that everything will be covered up. That is why Shankaracharya says we don't have the time to answer all the questions. We can ask a lot of questions. So we have to find a way to get out of this mess. So Moksha Vichara Shastra becomes very fundamental. But now, since we think that we are not in that much trouble, some people with intelligence will always look for Shastra. And even Kṛṣṇa says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante. When you have time, you should definitely refer to the Shastras. So this is a small answer for you. But the real answer is, you have to realize Paramātmā to understand. And you have to find a way to find Paramātmā. Find a way to get out of this mess. So this is the summary actually. We can go ahead. What is the question, Adiji?
Swami, you kind of answered the question already, but the question basically was, if we already know Kṛṣṇa or Paramātmā, then all this search is for no use, right? It is to actually know him or know what that Kṛṣṇa is, right? That's what we are learning, right? By the ācāryas, what they're saying, and all these things.
See, actually, you're right. Knowing is most important. What does it mean? Tameva viditva te mrityumeti nanyah panta vidyate yanaya. Tamevam vidvan amrita iha bhavati. What does it mean is, knowing him will give you amritatva right here. You will become realized right here by knowing him. But the knowing him is without any doubts. Absolute conviction. And sarvada. Sarvada means all the time you are aware of that Lord. Isha vasamidam sarvam etkincha jagatyam jagat. And he is realizing that Paramātmā. You are actually experiencing, like how somebody experiences their ordinary life. They have to go sit in an auto, sit in a vehicle. I have to work for a living. I have to take care of the family. Like how they are experiencing this world. If they can experience Parabrahma in every way, that is the real knowing. Knowing means actual realization. So that is the difficult part. Okay? With this introduction.
I have one comment here. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Up to now, we were speaking about Līlā Vibhūti and the way Bhagavān is involved in this. It looks as though this mess also is on him. It sounds like that. But we also have to account in the Vishtadvaita and Dvaita view that there is something like a Nitya Vibhūti also, where all these problems are not there.
Yeah, the whole problem is to get there, right? We are trying to find a way to get there. So,
Yeah.
see, the thing is, half the blame still is there, right? Līlā, why Līlā? See, there is an answer to it. I don't want to leave you with a big question in the whole thing. What do you call? Nammalvar says, Nimalan, Nidivanavan. The thing is, I don't know which Alvar says. I don't know. I've just said it's not. Tirupāṇaivar. Nirmala. That means he has no blemishes of any kind. Only when you know that he does not have any blemishes, then you realize. So even though he is so actively active in this universe of creation, destruction, millions of people die and are born, Even in the Vishwarupa, Arjuna sees Kechit Vilagnaha Dashanantareshu. All this Bhishma, Drona, and all these people are entering your mouth, which is so horrible to look at, because you are consuming everybody. I can even see heads of people inside your mouth. So, thing is, this is well known that all these things are happening. But in all this process, you will find Paramatma to be blemishless, blameless. And only one who knows that is a realized person. So, Kṛṣṇa says that in a particular shloka, I'm forgetting in the Bhagavad Gita, he says that once you see me as blameless, as faultless, you will be a realized person at that time. Only such a person is a jnani. So there is a camp out of the Līlā theory also. Līlā theory may sound awkward, but the thing is there is an exit from there also. So then what is how to realize?
Yes, yeah. And another thing is, though the Vishwarupa was actually fearful, though very rare, still the same Bhagavan also in the 18th chapter, he tells that because of his prasada only one will get Paramashanti and the Shashvata Sthanam.
Correct. And also a doubtless place where the person has no doubts and they will not have any blame on Kṛṣṇa also.
Yeah, so certainly if there is a Līlā Vibhūti where there's a lot of mess, there is a place where there is actually a Nitya Vibhūti where there will not be any of these things.
That is true. See, the thing is, another very important advantage of the Līlā Vibhūti is Yo mam evam asammudo janati purushottamam sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. That means only when they know without any doubt, Vetti loka maheshwaram, that in all this universe, the most important thing is to realize Paramatma. In fact, in the 10th chapter, say, I'm forgetting the original verses. What it says is, there is a very, very important use of the Līlā Vibhūti. Līlā Vibhūti has a purpose. What is that? In the very beginning of the 10th chapter, Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asammuda samartyeshu sarva papaihi pramuchyate. That is one thing. Another thing is
is it aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam
no, it is, I got it. No, etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tattvataha. So avikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. Vibhūti, look at the Vibhūti. That Vibhūti includes Līlā Vibhūti and Nitya Vibhūti. That means this universe of all this Martya Loka and all this, anything other than Vaikuntha. This and Vaikuntha, both are his Vibhūtis, right? Vibhūti means, Vibhūti is Aishwarya, God's glory, God's ownership. God owns everything, here and up there. Etam vibhutim yogancha mama yo vetti tattvataha. Only when somebody knows this Vibhūtis, these two Vibhūtis, the Līlā Vibhūti and Nitya Vibhūti, and also the reason of why there is a Līlā Vibhūti, why there is a Nitya Vibhūti, all the details. So avikampena yogena yujyate natra samjayaha. That person will have an unquestionable conviction which helps him focus in dhyana. Avikampena yogena, unshakable belief in dhyana. Yujyate natra samshaya. So this universe is full of unpredictability. There is no real anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam, he says. This whole universe is designed to be anitya, ashashvata, asukha. You try to find sukha here, you will not get it. It is like crushing sand and trying to see if I crush sand, I will get out oil from it or something like that. You can't. So avikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. So the thing is, so this universe is designed for people to understand the difficulty of this universe, the anityatva and asukhatva of this universe. The sorrow is there everywhere. Then you will focus only on Kṛṣṇa, only on God. So the thing is, there's a value for this with this Līlā Vibhūti. It is not completely pointless. But from viewing from one point of view, Shuranga.
அடியேன் இதுல விபூதிம் அப்படின்றது இந்த ஸ்லோகத்துக்கு ஏதாம் விபூதிம் யோகம் ச மமயோ வேத்தி தத்வதः சோவிகம்பேன யோகேன யுஜ்யதே நாத்ர சம்சய. அந்த ஸ்லோகத்துல விபூதின்றது வெறும் ஐஸ்வர்யம் மாத்திரம் இல்ல, விபூதின்றது அவனோட நியமனா சாமர்த்தியத்தையும் சேர்த்துதான் சொல்றா. அதுல அந்த ஸ்லோகத்துல
நியமனா சாமர்த்தியம் everything is included there.
So அதனால சிருஷ்டி ஸ்திதி பிரளயம் இல்ல, அதனால சிருஷ்டி ஸ்திதி பிரளயம் எல்லாமே அவனோட அதீனம்ன்றது அதுல இருந்து நமக்கு கிடைக்கிறது இல்லையா?
Definitely. See, the thing is, think about some of the verses of Nammalvar. Okay, in Nammalvar, some verses says, "யோ இந்த எச்ச வாயால உன்னை பாட வைக்கிறதுக்காக இந்த உடம்பு கொடுத்தியா" அப்படின்னு கேட்பான். What in English is, you've given me this, this mouthful of saliva and all these problems I have with the body. You've given me the body only to make sure that I sing about you, sing about the glories of you. You've given me a wonderful opportunity. He realizes that the being in a body is such a big advantage. He realizes this universe is such a big gift to himself. The body is a gift. Everything is a gift.
That's why it is said. அதனாலதான் மனுஷ அவதாரம் கிடைக்கிறது அறியறது. அதுலதான் நம்ம சாதனை பண்ணி அவனை சென்று அடைய முடியும்னு சொல்றா. அதனால தானே இந்த சரீரத்துக்கு ஏற்றம்.
True. Yeah, that's true. So the thing is, let us spend at least 10 minutes on certain points here. Okay. I'm sorry for a big introduction. Was this introduction useful or useless?
It was awesome, Kṛṣṇa ji. I just had one last thing to say.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
When I was thinking about Arjuna, and then when Kṛṣṇa revealed himself as the complete, I think the problem Arjuna faces is that even though Parabrahman is right next to him, he's not able to see the entirety as one. He only sees parts of it. Like he sees one small piece of him, like maybe the head you were talking about inside the mouth, or like all these people getting destroyed. That is only a piece of it. And because if we have an inability to see the whole as everything, as him, we will because of our own inadequacies, we're going to end up seeing things that are potentially sorrowful, and as a result we'll identify all these problems and that is where the issue lies, is because we only see the parts and not see the whole thing.
True. See, the thing is, this also shows it is not just an ordinary rational understanding of life. It is a realization where you feel that you are different from the body and you are different from the bodily connections and relationships. So you have to see that yourself as unrelated, asanga. All these things are realizations, not just knowledge. That is why Bhagavad Gita is a Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Kṛṣṇa Arjuna Samvade, right? Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya is more like a study of the Brahman, understanding of the Brahman. But it is Yoga Shastra. Everything is a point of realization. It is a process of realization. Unless you cannot divorce and get rid of the yoga part of the Bhagavad Gita. Yoga is a constant aspect. So there are different views on the Bhagavad Gita. we will never be able to completely understand Bhagavad Gita. That is the infinity of that whole thing, right? It's with a small mind and with just incapable or less capable mind and intellect and rational thinking, how can we understand the infinite? That's exactly why Arjuna got specialized. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogam aishvaram. And he was shocked.
Swami, and realization is not an intellectual understanding of it all anyway. Even if Krishna
Correct.
gives it, it's not it's intellectual understanding can only be of the words, and words only denote an entity which is not the same. The entity and the words are not the same anyway.
Correct. True. That is true. That is a very good beginning to one beautiful point, case we mention often. Shabdartha pratyayoho iteretara adhyasat sankaraha. There is a sutra, I think in the Yoga Sutra somewhere. Shabda artha pratyaya. Shabda is the words. Artham is the object. Pratyaya is the experience of the object. So if sugar is the object, experience is when you put sugar into your mouth and then taste it. Pratyaya, that is the experience. Shabda is only the name, the word sugar. We confuse this all the time when it comes to Jivatma, Paramātmā, Brahman and all this. That is why we get messed up. We'll come to that later. That's not important here. Let's talk a few minutes on this.
In this way, what you have said, knowing is becoming. It is not just intellectual 2, 3 plus 4 is 7. It is knowing is you should become that. Then only there is jnana. Jnana means knowing is to become that. You have to realize that, to be in that.
True. That becoming is a complex thing, right? That becomes a big issue about different views.
That itself is a very great problem, issue.
Yeah, true. Agreed.
I agree with Champarama. I recite this Narasimha Kavacha Stotram in the end. In the Palashruti, it says, those who recite the Kavacham every day for 30,000 times, they become Narasimha himself.
True. The thing is that there is a way, like there are many shlokas like that. Okay, Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. Look at the shloka. That is the Upanishad directly, right?
Yeah.
Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. It is not Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Ācāryas have different views on it, but the thing is there are very strong statements like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to a few minutes. I need to talk at least a couple of minutes on this. Okay. The last slide, what we did was Vishwam Satyam. So I did not give you the reference last time, and I found this reference thanks to Kṛṣṇa Rao's book. It is Ṛgveda 2.24.1, which says Indra Brihaspati, just a second here. Indra Brihaspati, your word is real, and the knowledge and the gods know that you are protecting the world. So it is an address to Indra and Brihaspati. And Yet Chiketa Satyam, there is something more than this. I didn't write the whole thing. This is Ṛgveda 8.1.27. The world created by God is real and it can produce effects. So the thing is, this talks about the reality of the world. Kavir Manishi Paribuhu Swayambhuhu Yata Tathito Arthan Vyadadhat Shashvati Bhya Samabhya. This is the Ishavasya Upanishad, which says God, who is omniscient, omnipotent, and independent, created the world, is real forever, because he has appointed the devatas and others and everybody and given them a portfolio of work to do forever. Those who say that the world is unreal have lost their true vision and they will harm the world. Where is this last statement coming from? Anybody? Those who say that the world is unreal have lost their true vision and they will harm the world. It may not exactly be like that, but this comes out of some particular shloka. It is from the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Asatyam apratishtam te jagadahuhu anishvaram. And it is said that the asuric tendency which make people think that there, this asatyam apratishtam, there is no truth to this world, and it is not even based on anything, any reality. It just let us have fun now, make money, enjoy everything you get. Go get loans and then enjoy. Buy stuff after making loans. All you have to do is enjoy in this world. That is an asuric tendency, and which calls the world as asatya. This is in the Bhagavad Gita, and it's one of the favorites in the Advaita literature. Okay. Anyway, what we were saying, the next verse is avinashitu tad vidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. So we talked about that it was said that Prakriti Purusha are Nitya. What is unlimited in space is Nitya. Vedas are Nitya. Varnas are Nitya. They are Anadi Nitya and cannot be destroyed even by a curse. That was said earlier. So the point again is Vinasha. Vinasha means that which changes. Now I want to tell you that the unquestionable, absolutely no change is an Advaitic view. All other Ācāryas say the Jiva is Nitya, but the Jiva Swarupa, or the very substance of Jiva, does not change. The Jiva can go through misery, sorrow, happiness, and all these things because of Deha Sambandha, because of connection with the body. If the connection with the body is gone, Jiva doesn't have these bodily experiences. Jiva is unconnected, and Jiva Swarupa is never destroyed. That is where in the first few shlokas, or even in later, what do you call, Dehi Nityam Avadyoya Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. Dehi or the Jiva cannot be destroyed. So in that sense, it is Vikara Rahita. Vikara Rahita is not in the actions or interactions in life. The Swarupa of Jiva, the very stuff the Jiva is made of, which is Jnana, that Jnana is Vikara Rahita, that cannot be destroyed. In that sense, so Nasha means not changeless. What is the verb root of Nasha in Panini's grammar? Because Nasha is a Sanskrit word, right? Nasha adarshane. You don't see it anymore. If the pot breaks, you don't see the pot. So Nasha is not changeless. But changelessness is also important. But the changeless is limited to no change in Swarupa by the other Ācāryas. That is, Ramanuja.org, Madhva think that avinash, that is changelessness, nirvikaratva, is with respect to the Swarupa of the Lord. And they even go even more further, right? Nirvikaratva for Jiva is, the Swarupa does not undergo any destruction. Similarly, Paramātmā does not undergo any change in his Dharmabhuta Jnana as well as Swarupa. Let's think about it a little bit. That is an Vishishta Advaita view, which I will point out. What it is, Paramatma is all pervading. That is acceptable to all Ācāryas. Paramatma is all pervading. And when it is all pervading, the Paramatma does not have any changes. Swarupa does not change. The Swarupa is everywhere, all pervading. Swabhava, or the Dharmabhuta Jnana, the knowledge of Paramatma, from which he interacts with everybody else, right? That is unchanging in one way, that is, it does not have any contraction or expansion like the Jivas. The Jivas are subject to karmas. So the Jiva's knowledge becomes more and less. One day in the morning you wake up and you seem to know a lot. And next day you're so sluggish and you can't understand anything. So it goes through changes. Dharmabhuta Jnana goes through changes because of karma. For Paramatma, there is no karma relationships. So he is always, he knows everything all the time. Yo veti yugapat sarvam sada evam swayam swataha. That means this is another one verse from
Pratyaksheṇa sada
Yamata.
swataha.
Pratyakshena sada swataha. Yo veti yugapat sarvam pratyakshena sada swataha. That is Alavandar's views. This line from by Yamunacharya. He knows everything.
Nathamuni.
You're right, Nathamuni. Thank you for the correction. And Nathamuni, he says, Yo veti yugapat sarvam. He at once he knows everything. Swaya pratyakshena, just like how we see. Always he sees. Swataha, naturally. He doesn't have to do some kind of a yoga or something to become perfect like that. He's always perfect. That's what they say, right? So, but is there any change in Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Sankalpa, Nigraha and all? Yes. At one point, he may be in Yoga Nidra. In Yoga Nidra, there is, after all the destruction or the Pralaya, Mahapralaya, where everything is consumed, he doesn't act. In that sense, he is Nirvikari at that time. In that sense, he is Shuddha. He is Shanta. He doesn't do anything. Everything is consumed. And in such a way that Nama Rupa Vibhaga Anarha. What is Nama Rupa Vibhaga Anarha? That means there are no names or forms. He has consumed everything in such a way that everything, there is no separate Jīva, Jada, Paramatma, there is no separate or anything. It's in one. But can we understand that state? It is beyond our thought. Here, he is not at all understandable by any rational thinking. He has consumed everything, but he is one. There is only one. That is why Ramanuja.org says in one place in Vedanta Sangraham, Ekatve sati nanatvam, nanatve sati ekatam. What do you call? Achintyo brahmano rupam kastad veditum arhati. Brahman is beyond all thought. He is one when he is again multiple. He is many. At the same time, he is one. And he is one, at the same time, he is many. He is unthinkable. Kastad veditum arhati. That is, who can know him? Veditum ichchati. How can anybody even think of knowing him? That is not possible. So the thing is, in one sense, in the state of pralaya, we can say he is actionless. But in state of this one, he is capable of action. He can do anything. But nothing changes him. Nothing affects him. He loses nothing. So he is doing, in fact, if we say that he cannot act, that will become, in fact, a negative also, right? If he is incapable of action, it becomes a negative also. So he is not bound by anything. So he is beyond all thought. One point to understand, Advaita is a model. Vishishta Advaita is a model. Dvaita is a model. Like that you can have Shuddha Advaita, you can have Achintya Veda doctrine. These are all models, ideologies, because it's something our normal mind can try to understand to some extent. Not that we know everything. We cannot know the truth unless you experience truth. But you can have a model. You're born in a Vishishta Advaita family, you'll have that model. Your parents and grandparents, everybody around you will teach you that model. You were born in Advaita family, that ideology will be put into you from very early age. Like similarly, Dvaitin, similarly somebody. These are all models. What does model mean? Ideology. Mata. Mati means buddhi. When you say mata means mati is buddhi. Then all these shastras and everything is mati only, right? That is why Shravana, Manana. Manana is mind. Shravana, Manana is still mind in happening in the mind. After Nididhyasana and after realization, then only you will know the truth. So the truth is beyond all the Shastra Jnana. But most people, what happens, they will get brainwashed by their family, by gurus, friends and all. whatever my Ācārya said is the truth, everything else is wrong. They will get brainwashed. One has to know the truth is beyond mati or mata, opinion. Mata means opinion. Truth is when you realize that. Mati, anything could be right. Or this universal experience of Paramātmā and as well as this wonderful creation of universe may be totally beyond our cognition. You might never understand unless you are 100% realized. So we need to keep this in mind. So there is nothing like one view is better than the other view is better than, this is up to the person. Where you are. Shuka Maharshi may thinking that, oh my God, Sarvam Vasudevamayam. All he saw was everything is there, because Shuka Maharshi was at that level. The another point, Shankaracharya comes from the Samadhi Sthiti. That means he comes from the direct realization state all the time. He comes from the goal side, from the Paramātmā side. And the other Ācāryas come from how do we get there, path. So the views may be different. So we should understand the point of view very well, because all these models are very helpful for us to understand. And as our great gurus once said is, Tesham Hridayam Ekameva. These Ācāryas are not trying to fool you or give you. They are not interested in confusing you with different viewpoints. Their heart is one and the same. They are presenting to different people with different backgrounds. That's all. What is the time? I'm going beyond. I'll take a few minutes here. Just a few minutes.
One point, shall I tell you?
Go ahead.
That is, it's very difficult to realize. When you really realize the truth, you cannot make other to understand as you know by words.
True.
He should also understand like me only. There is only one way for anybody to know really. That's what I want to tell. Even if you know 100%, you cannot make other person 100% realize what you know.
True. Because speech cannot carry truth completely.
It is limited.
Limited. True.
You yourself are limited.
However, yeah. So let me continue just a couple of minutes. I want to get to a point where I can close. So what Madhvacharya says here is, there is something unique about this Bhagavān. Why is all this karma should be dedicated to one person called Kṛṣṇa? Why is he pujya? Why is he deserving of prayers? Yadyapi nityatvam jivasyapi tathapi sarva prakareణ avinashitvam Vishnureva iti tu shabdaha. Vishnu is different from all other jivas. So why is Madhvacharya bringing this? Don't think that Jiva is same as Vishnu. Jiva is same as Paramātmā. Never think like that. So Madhvacharya clearly is bringing the Panchaveda doctrine. There is difference between Jiva and Jiva. There is difference between Jīva and Īśvara. Jiva is also Nitya. However, Vishnu is Avinashi in every way. Tu Shabda. Tu is a separation. Pakshavyavritti. That is separate. Oh, Vishnu is on the other side. Very different. We are different. We may be Nitya, but he is different. That's what he is saying. Anityatvam dehahanhi dukkha praptira purnata nashas chaturvidah pruktaha tadabhavo hare sada. Hari is always exempt from the 4 types of nasha or destruction. Anityatvam is trikala abadhyatvam. So what is the definition of nityatva? Trikala abadhyatvam. That which cannot be denied in past, present, or future. Never will it become not valid. So Nityatva is defined as not a-vikāritva. A-vikāra is not the definition of Nityatva, but many times a-vikāritva is important, and other Ācāryas take a-vikāritva to only mean the Swarupa a-vikāra, that is the essential form is not lost. The essential substance is not lost. So the essential substance is unchanging, but attributes may be changing. So that is acceptable to other acharyas. What do you call? I don't know the exact Panini definition of Nityatva, which I could probably check out and see if we can find it. But I just want to mention the difference in viewpoints between acharyas. So, Nashas Chaturveda Proktas Tadabhavo Hare Sada Tadanyesham tu Sarvesham Nasha Kechit Bhavantihi. The other people are always subject to some kind of Nasha. One of these four problems affect the other beings. And this is said in the Mahavarahe. Deshatah kalasas chaiva gunatah tridhatatihi sa samasta harereva nahyanye purna sadgunaha. So the thing is, unlimited is Hari. As he is beyond space, not limited by space, not limited by time, and not limited by number of auspicious attributes. All these three are complete in Hari only, and the rest of them do not have this Purnatva. So what is Nityatva? Trikala Abadhyatva. That is the definition of Nityatva. And you can also say Nirvikaritva because about the Swarupa is unchanging. That's how the other acharyas, that is particularly Dvaita's acharya also support this. Okay. So where do you go and find out the real Vedas? You have to go in Vedas. There are no injunctions or rules that Brahma Swarupa should be Nirvikari. Nirvikara Shruti, I have to check because I've been trying to look at a Nirvikara Shruti in the Vedas, which says he is totally Nirvikari. In Bhagavad Gita, I say a-vikāryo yamichate Jīva, but the thing is that is Swarupa Vikara only because clearly Jīva has other abilities and attributes, right? And Paramātmā also has attributes. He himself says he is a creator and things like that. And Brahma, see in the Bhagavad, in the Vishnadvaita, Dharmabhuta Jnana is not subject to expansion and contraction because karma does not affect Paramatma. And so during Nigraha, Anugraha, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Dharmabhuta Jnana of Paramatma doesn't undergo decrease or increase, but it changes phase. And it adds to the independence as to he can act and he doesn't have to act, which he does. So both is taken as a positive there. There, Vikara, Sri K.S.V. Swami uses a wonderful word, Vikara and Vikasa. Vikasa is growth. For example, flower buds, they grow into beautiful flowers. That is Vikasa. Vikara means grown flower becomes, what do you call it, shriveled up due to too much exposure to sun and things like that. That is Vikara. So Vikasa is acceptable, Vikara is not acceptable. Okay, is there any proof in the Upanishad? Tadatma swayama kuruta. And there is that is he himself did this, became this universe. Taittiriya Upanishad. Swayam Atmanam Tadatmanam Swayama Kuruta. He became this universe. He made himself become to this universe. He expanded himself into the universe. Atma Kritehe Parinamat is a Brahma Sutra. Here Shankaracharya accepts Parinama, not Vivarta. Vivarta is appearance only. But Shankaracharya in the Atma Kritehe Parinamat Sutra, he says there is Parinama, there is a transformation of this Brahman into this universe. How is a different question. So taken as Parinama is by the Vishishtadvaitins. Even in Parinamat Sutra, Shankaracharya says it that way, but in some other sutra, he changes it. And it says everything is only appearance only. So, so it is mere, universe is just a mere appearance according to Advaitins. But for other Vishishtadvaitins, they say there is an actual transformation of Parabrahman into this universe. So these two are different, two different views. I have just taken this slide is slightly just to verify and clarify Vishishtadvaita view. Dvaita view is different, but we'll come to that. Here, I will only take one or two slides here. Vedanta Sara of Sadanandayati, which is a very important shloka, he explains the same thing. Thus it has been said, a-vikāra is actual modification of a thing, altering into another substance, while Vivarta is only an apparent modification. Right? It appears to modify, that's all. Vikāra is when milk is turned into a curd, that is vikāra. Vivarta is when rope is mistaken for a snake, or a shell is mistaken for a silver, a shell is mistaken for a silver, whatever it is. All these things are Vivarta, is apparent only. So these two are from two different schools, Advaita and Vishishtadvaita. Now we can stop because we are going to the next shloka. Antavanta imede ha nityasukta sharirinaha anachino aprameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata 2.18. Hope this discussion was useful to all of you. And here I'll stop because I don't have time. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha. Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa Arpanamastu.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Thank you, Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you.
Please send out feedback and any questions if you have. And the discussions on Advaita, whatever happened, different people were talking about, they're all very good. I am going to tell you more about Sadasat Vilakshana using this book. Sadasat Vilakshana issues, Madhva-ācārya's attack on Sadasat Vilakshana. Such a category does not exist. And I will use that book to give you some summary of his views, just to understand Dvaita point of view better. That we will do it in next class. So next class will be very interesting. There's a lot of logic in the next class.